On February 2nd, 1584, the Knight commanders of the Anti-Gnome Alliance convened in a fortified keep deep within Marwood's heartland. The Council of War was a critical gathering, born out of the dire necessity to devise new strategies against the gnomes' potent magic and unorthodox tactics, like turning people's heads into pumpkins or, just fucking around with everybody all at once. The recent defeats and harrowing encounters with the gnome enchantments had made it clear that traditional military strategies were insufficient. The council, composed of the most seasoned leaders from Marwood, Thaloria, Alaria, and Verdantia, were met with the singular purpose to outwit and overcome their cunning foe. The keep's great hall was filled with an atmosphere of urgency and determination. King Eldric of Marwood, along with Duke Henry of Thaloria, Duchess Alara of Alaria, and Prince Hector of Verdantia, stood at the head of a large oak table, surrounded by their most trusted advisors and knights. Maps and reports were spread across the table, detailing the locations of recent skirmishes, enchanted forests, and gnome strongholds. The commanders knew that they needed to pool their collective wisdom and experience to develop innovative strategies. The initial discussions focused on the nature of gnome magic and how it had been used to a devastating effect. The enchanted forests and magical traps had turned the terrain itself into a weapon, and the knights had suffered greatly because of it. Sir Joffrey of Marwood, a survivor of both Thistlebrook and the Stonehaven siege, recounted the horrors of facing gnome enchantments and emphasized the need for a deeper understanding of their magic.
We face an enemy who twists nature and illusion to their will. To fight them, we must think like them,
he declared, earning nods of agreement from around the table. To counter the gnome's magical prowess, the council decided to integrate more mages and scholars into the ranks. Duchess Alara of Alaria, whose domain was renowned for its magical academies, pledged to send her best wizards to the front lines. These wizards would work alongside the knights, using their arcane knowledge to neutralize gnome spells and create protective wards. Additionally, they would train select knights in the basics of magical defense, ensuring that every unit had someone capable of detecting and dispelling enchantments. Another key strategy involved the use of specialized scouts and rangers. Prince Hector of Verdantia proposed forming elite reconnaissance units composed of skilled woodsmen and rangers who knew the forest well, almost as well as the gnomes did. These units would be tasked with mapping enchanted areas, identifying potential traps, and providing real-time intelligence on gnome movements. Real CIA shit. Their knowledge of the natural terrain and ability to move silently through the forest would be invaluable in countering gnome ambushes and guerrilla tactics. The council also recognized the importance of psychological warfare. Duke Henry of Thaloria suggested using misinformation and deception to sow confusion among the gnomes. This would involve planting false intelligence, staging feigned retreats, and using illusions to create the appearance of larger forces. By turning the gnomes' own tactics against them, the Alliance hoped to undermine their confidence and force them into more conventional and thus vulnerable combat scenarios. And as this council adjourned, there was a renewed sense of purpose among the commanders. The strategies devised were a blend of martial prowess, magical innovation, and cunning deception. And so, reflecting upon the multifaceted nature of the threat they faced, the knights and their allies knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with peril, but they were much better equipped now to meet the gnomes than they were in the past. And amidst the ongoing struggle against the Gnome Confederation, there was a significant breakthrough that happened on the 10th of February of 1584. The knights, with the help of allied mages and scholars, developed a revolutionary piece of equipment, the anti-magic shield. The innovation promised to turn the tide of war, offering the knights a new form of protection against the gnomes' potent enchantments and deadly spells. The discovery came about through a collaboration between the finest minds of Alaria and the skilled blacksmiths of Marwood. Duchess Alara's wizards had been tirelessly studying gnome magic, dissecting captured artifacts, as well as gnomes, and experimenting with various magical wards and barriers. They found that certain combinations of runes and enchanted materials, such as gnome top hats, could repel or dampen magical energies. However, these enchantments required a stable and durable medium to be effective in the chaos of battle. And Master Blacksmith Thaddeus, known for his excellent craftsmanship, proposed embedding these magical wards into the very structure of a knight's shield, using rare metals and enchanted gemstones provided by the Alarian wizards Thaddeus forged a prototype shield that could withstand both physical blows and magical assaults. The shield's surface was engraved with intricate runes, each carefully chosen to disrupt and absorb magical forces. The best part about it, the shield was also able to take a hit from a weapon without damaging the runes. The first field test of the anti-magic shield was conducted in a controlled environment with knights standing against simulated gnome spells. The results were promising. The shields glowed with a faint blue light when struck by magic, absorbing the energy and protecting the bearer from harm. And so, encouraged by these initial successes, the Alliance began producing these shields in greater numbers, distributing them among the frontline units. Sir Roland, one of the first knights to wield an anti-magic shield in battle, would be a big fan of this weaponry and would request that all of his unit gain access to the shields. And the introduction overall of these anti-magic shields had an immediate impact on the battlefield. During skirmishes, knights armed with these shields could advance through enchanted traps and magical barriers that had previously been insurmountable, and the gnomes accustomed to their spells wreaking havoc unopposed found their tactics suddenly less effective. And they were now on the retreat. And word of the anti-magic shields would spread quickly. Bolstering morale amongst the allied forces, the shields not only provided physical protection, but also symbolized the Alliance's ingenuity and resilience. The gnomes, realizing that their magical advantage was being eroded, began to adapt their strategies as well, increasing the intensity and cunning of their attacks. Despite this, the development of anti-magic shields was a turning point. It demonstrated that the knights and their allies could innovate and adapt in response to the gnome threat, but the war was far from over. Because on February 17th of 1584, we have the Battle of Willow's Edge. And this was a turning point in the Gnome Knight War. The Allied forces, led by Sir Joffrey of Marwood, marched towards Willow's Edge with renewed confidence. The anti-magic shields had proven their worth in smaller skirmishes, but this would be the first major test in a full-scale battle. Sir Joffrey, along with Duchess Alara's wizards and Prince Hector's elite rangers, devised a plan to use the shields not only for defense, but also to create opportunities for counterattacks against the gnome forces. As dawn broke over Willow's Edge, the knights formed a defensive line, their shields glowing faintly with the protective runes. The gnomes, well aware of the knights' advance, had prepared an array of magical traps and ambushes. The battle began with a barrage of gnome spells, fireballs, ice shards, and arcane bolts aimed at the knights. And to the gnome's surprise and frustration, the shields absorbed the brunt of the assault, allowing the knights to advance steadily. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. This is Historical Quarrels with Tyler Eckhardt. This is just a brief little episode. Ran into some more issues while trying to edit my editing software, and I'm going to just name names right now. Adobe Audition. What the fuck, dude? I keep trying to use you, but then you crash all the time. And I tried uninstalling, reinstalling. I tried making sure I didn't have a bunch of other processes going at the same time on my computer, and it just keeps crashing. Okay, just got back from a long camping trip. Didn't have a lot of time to record today anyways, and with this, it cut my time even more. Way more. Had a lot of shit to do this morning. Didn't get back home until a little bit later. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the briefest of brief episodes. We'll be back with the full Gnome Vs Knights lore. We're continuing this series until I'm done with my pages. It also allowed me to catch up on script writing for actual history as I'm doing this series. So if you guys don't like it, I guess just tune out. I don't know. It's probably not for you guys. That you can tune out for a couple weeks while I get my editing software fixed, and or I find a new editing software, because I'm about to do that. I swear to God, this is getting really frustrating. I just want to do some simple edits. I'm trying to turn the Knights' voices into Space Marine voices, and it won't let me do it. without fighting me. You goddamn bitch. I hate you, Adobe. So I don't hate you, Adobe. I'm just frustrated with you. I just wish you, made yourself work correctly and you weren't so goddamn lazy. Stupid sack of shit. And yeah, I mean that's kind of it. So I'll be back next week with a full ass episode of this. This will probably be going on for 2 more weeks because again, I'm realizing each goddamn page is just ridiculous. So sorry, each page of text I've written is just kind of dense, and there's a lot to go in there. So it's a real goddamn good time. I had a lot of fun though writing it, so that's why I'm excited to record this, and that's why I'm continuing the series. And like I said, doing this will allow me to catch up on script writing for real history again here, and I'll hopefully be 2 or 3 episodes ahead in terms of script writing, so that way I can make sure I always have a fresh episode to record, and based off of like where I'm at with my scripts after this. That's gonna help. So if anything, just support this to support future real history. And then if I ever get caught up or backed up again, and I need to write some more scripts, then you can expect something similar to this. Maybe it'll just be like a fake fucking 50s crime series or something from some dick chasing down a beat, whatever they call it back then. I'll do something like that. Okay. Well, that's all. If you guys liked it, share it. Do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I love you guys. Fuck you, Adobe. God damn it. Stop making this harder than it needs to be. You sack of shit. I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye-bye.